The phrase which Sir Keir Starmer is planning to use tomorrow, that it will be business as usual and to root out 14 years of rot, suggests a call for significant change and reform and to pin all the blame on the Conservative Party and on Theresa May, Suella Braverman, Priti Patel and James Cleverly. And, of course, Robert Jenrick. I don't think this is reasonable. I don't think this is fair. The Home Office began its mission of decay really under David Blunkett rather than only under the Conservatives. And this points to the idea that the issues within this government department have deeper roots dating back to the early 2000s. David Blunkett served as Home Secretary from 2001 to 2004 under Tony Blair's Labour government, and his tenure was marked by controversial policies on immigration, civil liberties and national security. And critics argue that the foundations for some of the Home Office's later problems, such as inefficiencies, bureaucratic overreach, issues with immigration control, were laid during this period. And the suggestion that these issues were solely a product of the Conservative rule and the foolishness of Theresa May, without any question, she was foolish and divisive and dismissive of the role, the important role of actually getting work done in the Home Office. Her hostile environment was interpreted and understood by Home Office staff. I've spoken to civil servants who have confirmed this was how they understood hostile environment. That was her phrase. But she was building on the foundations laid by David Blunkett. So it's not just 14 years of rot, which Starmer is going to talk about tomorrow. It's a heritage of disaster put out by one part of the government, the Home Office. And that government department, that very important department, needs to be seriously reviewed and seriously restructured because it is too big for its boots. So Keir Starmer, in his remarks tomorrow, is likely to convey that while the Labour Party acknowledges the past issues within the Home Office and the broader government, they are committed to reform and renewal, and I hope so, in a fundamental way that acknowledges that the rot set in before Theresa May. The business of politics will resume, but it will not be business as normal. That will reflect a pledge from past practices and implement meaningful change, addressing long-standing problems that have plagued the department and, by extension, the government. But it can only be done by recognising that that department needs reform, seriously. And rhetoric simply will not do the job. We've certainly had 14 years of slamming the desk and imaginative rhetoric that hasn't sorted out the problems, in fact has created more problems, while also creating more bureaucracy to disguise the problems that have been drummed up by the Home Office. We need a simpler system. We need a more transparent system. And we need paperwork and bureaucracy that is honest. Rather than trying to catch people out, it needs to let us know what information we're supposed to be providing. The Home Office has set a standard in questioning, whether it's for a visa, whether it's for the renewal of your passport. We have no idea from the questions which are being asked what is the answer that we're supposed to be giving in 9 times out of 10. And actually, organisations like YouTube have picked up on this obfuscation of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is there, or at least the civil service is there. to facilitate and support business. Under Theresa May, under Blunkett, under Priti Patel, and particularly, of course, Suella Braverman, bureaucracy has taken root in such a way that it's become the key, the king. It's greater than individual people. And we should never get to a point where the desk, rule by the desk, is greater than rule by a brain, a thinking being. Rule by a piece of wood. The computer says no. This is madness. This is madness. And we need to change that. If Keir Starmer's approach indicates a recognition of the greater need for accountability, the importance not just of returning to old ways, but of actively seeking to correct systemic issues that have accumulated over the years, then he will be doing the right thing. If, on the other hand, he's simply going to blame the Conservatives, he's playing a stupid game, and it's no different to what we've seen in the past.